U.S. President Donald Trump and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi have voiced fresh optimism about reaching a trade deal, softening their tone after months of tension and fiery rhetoric. For months, Washington and New Delhi had clashed over tariffs, market restrictions, and India's growing purchases of Russian oil, but now both leaders are signaling that they see an opportunity to reset the tone and move closer toward cooperation. The shift has caught the attention of analysts worldwide, raising questions about what lies ahead for two of the world's largest democracies and their often complicated economic partnership. The relationship between the United States and India has never been simple. Both nations describe each other as strategic allies, but trade disputes have frequently clouded the partnership. Under Trump's America First agenda, Washington pushed hard for more favorable access to India's vast consumer market. India, for its part, has defended its right to shield domestic industries from what it views as unfair foreign competition. The result was years of tit-for-tat tariffs and simmering frustration. In 2019, the United States stripped India of its special trade privileges under the Generalized System of Preferences. New Delhi retaliated with higher duties on U.S. agricultural goods like almonds, apples, and walnuts. For American farmers and Indian exporters alike, these battles created uncertainty and distrust. The war in Ukraine complicated matters further. As the US and Europe sought to cut Moscow's revenues by restricting its energy exports, India quietly ramped up purchases of discounted Russian crude. The move made sense for Modi's government, which needed to keep fuel prices stable in a country of over a billion people. But in Washington and Brussels, it was seen as undermining Western efforts to put economic pressure on Russia. Reports later emerged that Trump had privately urged the European Union to consider imposing 100% tariffs on both India and China in response to their reliance on Russian oil. The suggestion underscored how trade policy, energy politics, and geopolitics had become deeply entangled. Yet this week, both Trump and Modi sounded a different note. Standing before cameras, Trump described India as a great friend of the United States, emphasizing what he called tremendous trade opportunities between the two countries. Modi, too, spoke warmly of shared responsibility, stressing the importance of building stronger economic ties. The shift was striking, especially given the tense atmosphere of previous months. To many observers, the question was obvious: why the sudden change? The answer lies partly in geopolitics. Washington knows it needs India as a counterweight to China's growing power in Asia. Modi knows he cannot afford to let ties with the US deteriorate too much, even as he tries to maintain his long-standing relationship with Moscow. Both leaders face domestic political pressures that make cooperation not only desirable but necessary. For Trump, demonstrating progress with India could bolster his argument that he alone can strike deals that benefit American workers. For Modi, showing that he can navigate the competing demands of Russia, the United States, and China strengthens his image as a pragmatic global statesman. Analysts suggest that a possible trade deal might include several compromises. India could agree to reduce tariffs on certain U.S. farm goods, while the United States might offer better access for Indian technology and pharmaceutical companies. Defense cooperation may also form part of the discussions, with both sides exploring joint production of military equipment. Such a package would not only deliver economic benefits but also signal a deepening of the broader strategic partnership. Still, optimism alone does not guarantee results. India is unlikely to abandon Russian energy imports anytime soon, given the financial savings they provide. The European Union may hesitate to embrace Trump's hardline approach to tariffs, especially if it risks igniting broader trade wars. And both Trump and Modi must contend with unpredictable political environments at home that could complicate negotiations. For all the friendly language, the underlying disagreements remain real. Yet tone matters in diplomacy. After months of escalating criticism and punitive measures, the fact that both leaders are now speaking of opportunity and cooperation marks an important shift. In international relations, sometimes the first step toward solving a dispute is simply choosing to frame it differently. For Trump and Modi, that choice may buy them the space to negotiate quietly behind the scenes while presenting a united front in public. As the world watches, the outcome of these talks will carry weight far beyond tariffs and trade balances. The U.S.-India relationship is central to shaping the future of the Indo-Pacific, balancing China's rise, and determining how the global economy adapts to the pressures of war, energy security, and shifting alliances. Whether the current optimism leads to a concrete agreement or fades into another cycle of confrontation remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that both leaders see value in projecting cooperation, at least for now. And so, the handshake between Trump and Modi this week was more than a photo opportunity. It was a signal that even in a world of rivalry and tension, pragmatism can sometimes take the upper hand. For their citizens, for their economies, and for the global order, the stakes could not be higher.